Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to ARL, and finally I believe we've got over a slight technical difficulty, so apologise if your experience has been disrupted by that. Welcome to ARL and welcome to qualifying here to start off the night's action. We are ready to go here at Silverstone, and it's qualifying and expect it to be a very heavily disrupted one. We have got cars that are trying to get out as soon as absolutely possible because the rain is coming. We're on board with I Love Passaggini now. One of the first drivers on a lap through Sector 1 is a 28.3 for the Sauber driver. Coming now onto the Wellington Straight, and it's an 18-minute single session here. Then we're moving on and then after we move on we're going straight over to the 25% race, and we'll go over weather in a second because we'll definitely have a lot of time to talk about that, because these drivers have got to get their lap times coming in quick. We're still on board with I Love Passaggini now as we go round Stowe, but he's got to watch out because that Williams in front of him, I believe it is a Williams, yes it is a Williams, and almost going into the back. We'll find out who that Williams is. I believe it's Racing 22 the best, and it is Racing 22 the best, and he pulls over to the side. But be aware that these drivers have got to be very quick with setting those lap times, because this session is starting off partly cloudily, then it's going to move to very overcast conditions. Gonna see some more lap times coming in now. Kevin Bicknell coming across the line. He goes third with a 131.2. The Panda was on a 139.8, not good from him to say the absolute least. There is a yellow flag in Sector 3, and I believe it involves one of the Saubers. Never mind, I believe it was Panda. We've got the Ferrari now of Kieran. He's one to watch as well. Also Siren Head is one to watch out as well. He's going around about to, I think he's into the second sector already. But we're on board with Kieran as he comes around the chicane. 4 or 5 drivers have set a lap time. Dammy's found himself up into 4th. Where will Kieran go? The first Ferrari to cross the line. He goes top of the times with a 1 minute 27.6. Great lap time for him. That's very good, and I Love Passaggini comes into the pit lane, and there was contact there with Racing 22 the best. As we see more cars putting their lap times in. The next Ferrari, a Spy 200, leads the way as we go now through Stowe, and we'll go into the final chicane, then round club. 12 minutes 40 to go. We're expecting the rain to hit very, very soon. Here, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. It's a slow Kieran as we go round the final corner. Spy goes up to 4th. Siren Head, one to watch out for, goes up into P2. Great stuff for him. Everyone has set a lap time so far. And we've got Dammy now coming around. He's 3/10 off his best time. As we go round the final corner, I don't think he's going to improve. Will he though, as he crosses the line? No, he doesn't. He stays with a best time of a 131.7. But the thing is with Dammy, he must have loaded his car up that he has that much fuel to go quicker. There is a yellow flag, and it is Siren Head going slowly, but he's just on a cool down lap. So that is the reason why. So 11 minutes 46 to go. We're expecting the rain to come very, very shortly. Spy 200 about to come round Cops, but Kieran, who was top of the times, pits. He aborts his lap. Or it might have been an in lap for Kieran, and the current pole sitter is in the pit lane. Siren Head has another lap in him. Maybe after this cool down lap though. Currently Kevin Bicknell probably on a cool down lap. And he'll look like he'll go for another one. So he will go for another one. Round the final corner he comes. It's a 131.2, but I promise you this might be the actual lap, but he's run out of ERS battery to do so. So I don't think he's going to improve there. There are loads of cars in the garage now. Dammy's not one of them, and he's a second quicker. Round sector 3 will come across the line. He might catapult up. No, he stays where he is, but he's 1.5 seconds quicker, but stays P7 as it currently stands. The rain is not that far away, people, and there's not that many cars out to do a lap, except from this man, Siren Head, looking to stop Kieran from getting pole, and this might be the last lap for him if this rain comes down very shortly, which I suspect it will, as we go round now and we'll head onto the Wellington Straight, onto the exit through Bucklands. He's already gone, now on the run up to Copse, 22% of ERS, as now we are entering Copse and we're coming up to the S's now with Siren Head, and through sector 2 we'll get a time as he comes to the middle of the Hangar Straight, but through the S's, let's see how good this looks. Kieran's on an outlap, but we've got a question, is that too late? Will the rain come too quick? Coming across, he's quicker, is Siren Head, but not by much at all. Now coming past where the Lando stand was this year. The question is it good enough this year? Siren Head, as he comes round into the final chicane, only 2 more corners now to go, and through Club Corner, will Siren Head just be quick enough to put it on pole? Yes, he will. Siren Head is on provisional pole, and just before the rain comes, that might just be enough. Or will Kieran, who's trying to get a quick lap in, be able to stop him? Everyone else is in the pit lane except Spy, who's on a quick lap out. This man might be the only one to triumph him. 9 minutes to go. This rain isn't far away, to say the absolute least. What a lap. What a lap from a Siren Head, and he's put it just a 10th quicker. The thing is though, Kieran's got to go quicker, and potentially might have rain coming down for that, as he enters the final section and he'll come into the chicane. I'll be really interested to see how this actually happens, as he comes now into Village. We're on board of him. Panda has rejoined the session. It might be too late. There's a little bit of a snap from Kieran on the exit there. He won't like that, to say the least, and I believe, yes he has, he's aborted his lap. Kieran aborts his lap, and if the rain does come, that might be it for his chances of pole, but it's still a decent start of P2. We're on board with I Love Passaggini. And the rain, is the rain coming down? Yes it is. It is raining here in Silverstone. The rain has come, and as it currently stands, Siren Head's put himself on pole position, and that might be it. That might just be good enough from Siren Head, because no one will improve in the wet, to say the least. Spy is currently ahead of his team, no, behind his teammate. Will he give him a tow down the straight? Oh, he's sliding, he's on the grass, as now we enter the Hangar Straight, and he's 3/10 off of his best time. He'd love to improve, even if it's just a 10th more. That'll still put him up a position. His teammate's gonna go off the grass on purpose, but look at that. Spy sliding around Copse into the chicane now. It might be too late to set a lap time, and that might be it for qualifying. 6 minutes to go. He's still sliding around Club. He's not going to improve. Spy is absolutely sliding everywhere, and that will be it for qualifying. I'm very sure of it. His teammate as well in the background is off. That should do it. And there's cars on softs as well. That is a horrendous decision from some drivers. They've left it way too late. It's just, you leave it too late, you pay the price. And pay the price they have. and that's obviously not what they wanted. And the cars are back into the pit lane. Kieran's still out there, but he's not going for it. He's 18 seconds off. Turns into 16. And that will do it, I believe, for qualifying, even though there is still 6 minutes. We can probably easily confirm to you that Siren Head is on pole position for the British Grand Prix, and we have loads of time to build up to that with this rain affecting the end of qualifying here. Kieran's still out on track and he'll be grasping at the opportunities missed. Siren Head will be absolutely loving it with how he has gotten on pole position here. And Kieran, he's on the softs, he's sliding out. Everyone's in the pit lane. Panda's on an out lap. I believe he will box. No, he's staying out. It's worth it considering he has a lap time of 1:39. Is it worth it being on the softs? Absolutely not. Look at him. The back is absolutely sliding everywhere. Siren Head is still out there. And Kieran is back into the pit lane. And Dami has entered the pit lane now. But no one's definitely improved in these conditions, so I think we can all confirm to you now that Siren Head is on pole position for the Silverstone race in ARL, the first ever race, and he takes the inaugural pole position, and I think we can easily confirm that now. Panda is 8.2 tenths off a 1:39, so it's definitely not happening. And they all knew it was coming. They all knew you had to get the lap times in quickly, and some of them didn't get them in as quickly as they liked. Here's what they said. FT Weather was predicting it was a dry start under light cloud, rain threat increasing through the session with a passing front approaching, precipitation attempts of 30 to 70%, and obviously the light rain has come, and as a result that does it for qualifying, and almost Panda loses it before he goes onto the hanger straight. Siren Head is into the pit lane. Race cars on our laps and on inters, but that's not the worst decision, because if you look at the race says there's widespread rainfall forecast during the race period. Conditions wet throughout, intermediates full wet as expected. That's not bad, considering this is a point for the drivers. You can't change the setup, no, but you can change it in the fact that you change the front wing, the brake bias, the differential if you really have to. That won't affect as much, but I think it's a decent decision from some to go out and practice, and they're on the intermediates. It gives us a good chance to see what the lap times will be like during the race, but nevertheless, we have decided our pole position already here, and the starting grid, as it looks like, is Siren Head, Kieran, I Love Passaggini, Kevin Bicknell, Racing 22 the Best, Spy 200 Gaming, Dami, and X the Rad, and Mies. And I'll tell you who that looks good for in the constructors. Williams, they've put it very consistent to start this race, 4th and 5th. Look at other teams, Mercedes only have 1 driver. Ferrari 2nd and 6th, it's a gap of 4 places. The Saubers, we've got a car starting 3rd and 8th. But it depends on what they'll be like at the start, whether you go aggressive or not. And there is a car stopped in sector 2. It was Dami, he went off the track momentarily. He's struggling, he's on the mediums. I think you have to ask yourself the question, why have you gone on the medium tyre in the wet, whether you could just practice on the intermediates. That's an interesting decision that some will ask the questions of. But nevertheless, Sammy does come into the pit lane now. I don't see him going out again because the garage won't let him. Times are about 8 to 10 seconds off. In wet conditions, we have a yellow flag in sector 2, but that was resolved. Cars just going slowly. And look how quickly this track has turned wet. If this is the conditions we've got during the race, we're set for an absolutely brilliant race coming up. 13 laps of Silverstone, and it's live only on FT Sport. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe already. We'll be bringing you every single night from ARL. 4 nights, 3 races every single night. 1 sprint, 2 25% race distances. It's going to be a fun one. 6 seconds left on the clock, and everyone who crosses the line now will take the flag, and that will include the ex-Radames. He will be the first driver to take the flag, but he's off the track already. He's got a Ferrari behind him. But as he comes around the final corner, that'll be it for his qualifying. A disappointing one. He disconnected in the early parts and will start last for this race. There is only 3 more cars left on the track, and that includes Spy, who's coming down the hanger straight, but he'll be the last one to cross the line. No, he won't. Yes, he will. Oh, that was really wide there for Kevin Bicknell through Cops. Very wide there, and you especially don't want that going at such high speed. But I'd say this looks very well for Williams. At this moment in time, when he's spun, Kevin Bicknell's spun, heading onto the hanger straight, and if this is the conditions during the race, well, some drivers might be done for. We'll have to see. Dami, I think, is disconnected from the session, so his AI will start for him, but he can take over. We know that he can have some issues with his Wi-Fi, but as he comes around the final chicane, that's a spin he won't want. Oh, and he's gone wide at Club nearly. A little bit of a wiggle around the final corner. Oh, and losing the back through the final corner. Might be a nervy race for some. Spy will be the last one to cross the line. No, he won't. He's gone into the pit lane, and that'll do it for qualifying. As he goes into the pit lane, that will be it. I'm very certain, though, we do have to wait for him, for his car to go into the garage, so we can technically end the session, and once that does happen, we'll get the results up for you. But nevertheless, Siren Head, we knew he was one to watch out for. He's proved that right, and has stuck it on pole position. So let's go through the results now. So Siren Head finds himself on pole position. Kieran in P2. I Love Passaggini starts 3rd. Kevin Bicknell in the Williams starts 4th. So does Racing 22 start 5th in the Williams as well. Spy Tier 100 starts 6th. Dami starts 7th. And Panda X the Rad Amies starts 8th, with a gap of 0.014 separating the top 2. We'll be back after this very short break. Welcome back. It's time for some more racing action. We've had qualifying. It's time for the race. It was very short, cap to say the least. We are waiting for the players to join. We are waiting for the players to take themselves to the grid. We'll have a formation lap first, and then it'll be race time at Silverstone. And you can see the weather. It's light rain, and it is currently spitting, as they would say here in Britain. And the inaugural round of the ARL Championship is almost ready to go. Before the race actually begins, and we've got the formation lap for us now. Before the race actually does begin, we've got the formation lap. Let's go over some statistics that you need to know about Silverstone, and that pit stops here, we'll have to see one. Well, actually, we probably won't see one, but if we do, it's 34 seconds spent in the pit lane. I don't see them pitting because it's an intermediate, and because it's wet, they don't have to change tyres. But if they do need to change, that's 34 seconds spent in the pit lane. It's not 34 seconds added to the race because the pit lane cuts off the final chicane and club corner. So it kind of gains a little bit there. But it'll be interesting to see what they do there. And interesting techniques to warm up the tyres. And I can tell you, is Dami not in the session? Dami, I don't think, has made the start of this one yet. So that's why his AI is going really slow, and because players will like to press pause at some point to get themselves an advantage. The AI has been set to 0, so this is the slowest it can go, and so that the players can't catch an advantage doing that. That is the reason why they are very slow, and that's why Dami's very slow. However, the rest of the cars, it will be this man who starts on pole. Siren Head starts this race in pole position. But this will be interesting to say the least. This is ARL, and oh, there was contact nearly between I Love Passaggini, and I can tell you, Passaggini's will get disqualified from the formation lap. Possible race strategies then, this is a good one. Intermediates through the way for the rest of the race, or you can pit to get a fresher set. Dami with the last car to take the grid because his AI is taken over, so he won't be probably in contention for a good race. But nevertheless, it's time to go racing here at Silverstone. All eyes to lights, 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go as Siren Head comes off to cover Kieran, but Kieran's had a great start, and Kieran, as we go down into turn 1, almost takes the lead. There's a car in the wall in the background, and there's a load of cars going wide into turn 1, and Dami finds himself in last, but Kieran takes the lead, and look at I Love Passaggini trying to make a move on Siren Head in the early stages of this race. Kevin Bicknell finds himself past Spy 200, but Spy 200 might come back at him, and he does. Oh, but he got a bit of snap, and Kevin Bicknell might find a way back. They're almost making contact, and as we go into Brooklands, Kevin Bicknell stays ahead, but not for long. Spy 200's coming right back at him. What a race between these two to start us off, and these are the closest on the grid, to say the absolute least. What a start to this race. 13 laps of it though, and I'm very certain that is not the end of the story. I Love Passaggini going very wide round Cobbs now, and he's go into the S's. Racing 22 is all over the back of him, but his teammate Kevin Bicknell is 1.8 off. He's spending too much time battling with this man, Spy 200. But look at this, Ex-Rada Amasi is on the back as we go down the straight. This is 3 wide as we go now into Stowe. This is great racing, and the Sauber finds his way past. Oh, he's gone through both of them. That's unbelievable stuff coming now into the chicane, but Kevin Bicknell finds a way through. This is incredible racing between every single one of them. Unbelievable stuff. So much. I've got a lump in my throat as we come across the line. We're on lap 2 out of 13. But the leaders are 2 tenths away from each other, so we might as well get ourselves back to that battle. This is incredible racing to start off ARL, and the first season is going great. Oh, I've nearly lost my voice. That was absolutely incredible as we go down the straight. There's no DRS because we're in wet conditions down the straight, and we'll see if he can make a move into Brooklands. No, he can't. Siren Head, who started on pole, lost the lead, and he's trying so desperately to get away back, and he might make a move down the inside. I'd love to see what he does with his ERS. He's using the overtake, which is the faster way. Kieran using overtake as well, and he's got more ERS. Considering, look at Siren Head, he's only got 16% left. And he's on non, so he can regen there. Kevin Bicknell now on the back of Panda. Panda with a great move that got past 2 cars in the space of 1 corner, and they're almost all going wide. Look at them, they're all drifting as we go around the S's. This is great racing between every single one of them. Siren Head now on the back. Mike, look at a move through Stone. He says he loves this corner, and they almost made contact. But this race will go on for a while, and I'm very certain no one will pit during this race. Danny still hasn't found himself back into the session. He is out of the race, to say the least, although he might get lapped. And talking about strategies, possible race strategies, you can go all the way on the intermediates due to the regulations, or you can box halfway through for a fresh set, although I don't think that will be needed, because these wet tyres can go such a long distance. And there is a penalty for Isle of Passaggini. I'm unsure as to why, I'm unsure as to how much. It is a 3-second penalty for Isle of Passaggini. Siren Head 4/10 off the back, but Panda is 3/10 off the back of Racing 22, and the Williams might start to get attacked. He's picked one off as the Sauber, and the Sauber is looking very good at this point, but Kevin Bicknell almost looking to move down the inside. He's going to look again. They almost made contact. This is great racing. Racing 22's got to defend, and the overtake being used by Kevin Bicknell as we make our way down into the straight. Dammy's finally made his way back into the session, although that probably doesn't matter now because he's 35 seconds off. And Isle of Passaggini is out of the race. I wonder what has happened there. Well, we need to know when we've got a virtual safety car. And we won't know what happened until we see where he is on the track. No, they've taken his car off already. I'd love to know what happened there with Isle of Passaggini, but everyone behind him moves up a place. But what happened to the leaders? These leaders were really far away, but they will get closer now. Virtual safety car, you have to go to 40% of your racing speed. Isle of Passaggini has left the session. Maybe a bit of a rage quit there. If anyone does want to pit now, it's 34 seconds you spend in the pit lane. But I don't think anyone will. But one thing to watch when we restart, look at these 3, look how close they are together. It's actually 4 of them. Dammy has retired, and unsurprisingly so we got 2 DNFs. And we'll find out when we are getting back underway. But what a start to racing. Oh, there was contact, and I think Spy's lost his front wing. Well, we're going to go racing again, and we do go racing again. The green flag is back out here at Silverstone, but Spy might have damage to his front wing. Oh, they do have damage. Spy doesn't have damage, but I think Kevin Bicknell does. Spy's going to find a way. He made contact. Maybe it's all elbows now. They're going all the way down. This might be big intercops. Here we go. Kevin Bicknell on the back. He won't. Oh, he's going to try down the inside. He had to brake a bit. That might have been a very dangerous overtake. And unsurprisingly, he backs out. But the leaders are back fighting again, ladies and gentlemen. What an entertaining battle between these two. And they have shared that battle all race long. Great stuff. Great stuff from these two, to say the absolute least. They have been so, I would say, well behaved, but we've not seen the ends of the tail yet. Panda goes for a move on Racing 22, but Racing 22 sends one right back, and he holds the position, but not for long. The Sauber is past him, and it's a good overtake, but Panda does go off the track, but he looks like he'll hold on for it for now. But Kevin Bicknell and Spy, they've gone off each other again. Spy is 8/10, now 9/10 off the back of Racing, and is out of DRS. But these two, Racing 22 and the Rad Amiz, are back racing again. And when these two come together, it's entertaining, and he's going to try and move down the inside, but it has to back off a little bit there. Getting a little bit twitchy, but this rain has gone on for so long, there is a dry line. But because there is a dry line, these drivers now having to go into the wet patches to cool their tyres off. They'll be getting hot, to say the least. So 2 DNFs, as you can see on the leaderboard. Dami retired because he couldn't join in time to the session after disconnecting, and there was no point in him running in the race, so he retired. And Passaggini had an incident, caused a virtual safety car. We'll find out more about that later. But it's Racing 22 down the inside, maybe. Going into Stowe, if though he can stay on the back, which he doesn't have seemed to on the Sauber, but he won't get DRS, remember, because it's wet. The DRS is disabled, and according to FT Weather, it's going to stay disabled the whole race. It's going to be raining the whole race, and I don't see that changing. So it looks like his strategy, you don't need to box, it's inters throughout the whole race. I love Passaggini. Also, when he retired, did have a 5-second penalty. We'll look at positions gained so far in this race. Panda's gained 3. Kevin Bicknell has fallen off massively. 3.3 seconds off the pace. Very sad to see there, but Panda, look at that drive from him. Maybe if he started higher up, he would be fighting with the leaders, but he finds himself in 3rd place. Good one for him. Racing 22 is 1.8 off, but it's all about the battle for the lead. It's all about the battle for the lead as it currently stands. Look at this for Ferrari, is right on the back here. This might be big. Ferrari, 4/10 off. Here you're watching opening night of the ARL. Sorry if we've been having technical difficulties. I believe we've sorted them now. You have missed qualifying where Siren Head put it on pole. You've missed the first half of this race, but nevertheless, you're watching it now. Every race is live though from this championship, only on FT Sport. Lap 7 of 13 now. Kieran on the back of Siren Head. And this battle has gone on for a very, very long time. Yeah, these drivers just love battling out. But yes, I think we do have to apologise for the technical difficulties we've been having all night. It should be sorted now, and we should be just fine. Apologies for the lacking quality. I believe that will be improved in just a moment. And it will look a little bit sharper again on your screen. But these two, they're side by side as we go into the chicane. Kieran, they made contact, and Siren Head nearly went for a spin there. Contact between the race leaders, maybe damage to Kieran, maybe a bit of, that was danger. That was danger to Siren Head. He could have had a puncture there. They just have to be very, very careful. They were so close to making contact. But luckily, there's not that much damage. But look at this, Kieran on the back once again of Siren Head, and he's got so much ERS to use on this straight. Remember, there's no DRS as we come down the straight. Lap 8 out of 13. And he's not going to get a move into Brooklands. These two, you can see from the helicopter cam, look how wet it is. It's just light rain, but these intermediates, loads of the drivers are making it look difficult for themselves. And Sirenhead's using all his battery. And as we go into Stowe, look at how he's charging it up. And look at this. Kieran's going for a move, and Kieran does get the move done. Kieran retakes the race lead here at Silverstone. Oh, and Sirenhead nearly went for a spin. Yeah, but the thing is, Sirenhead now, as you come onto the straight, he's got about 20% of battery. But look at how much Kieran does have. But he also gets the slipstream, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. And Sirenhead needs to regroup and come back again with more ERS. But the ERS is not a problem for Kieran at this moment in time. He can harvest probably a bit more, as they both are. He's on 40%. And Sirenhead's using so much battery. He's not letting any single part of battery go to waste. At all. And he's right on the back of Kieran. A race he started on pole by just 0.014 bits of a second. He's struggling now. Yeah, he's struggling. But that's the least of his problems, in my opinion. That's the absolute least. As we come down the straight, here we go. 10% ERS, and he's not using any. But he comes into a corner he really likes. Brooklands, can he look at a move down the inside? Oh, there was almost contact between the two race leaders. These are critical corners for this Grand Prix. As we go now into Cobbs. He's not going to go for it here. He's using the overtake, but it's not enough. Lap 9 out of 13. There's not that long left in this race. No pit stops, to say the least. If you're going to stay with us, coming up next, we've got a sprint in Austria. Sirenhead gets a penalty. Sirenhead got a penalty. And how much? It's 3 seconds. That will ruin his race. Yeah, but we have FIA. I don't know if they'll rule it out. If they do, we'll bring you that as we get it. But we've not heard anything from FIA just yet. But if we do, we'll go through it. Sirenhead all over the back of Kieran. Lap 9 of 13. It's not a battle for the win anymore, maybe. It's a battle for the winner on track, not off the track. Unless that penalty does get removed by the FIA, we'll have to see. There might be appeals into this. But this British Grand Prix in the rain is absolute chaos between the leaders. Racing 22 also in a battle of his own, but it's back to the leaders. Look how close they are, and they're side by side, and they almost make contact as we go now onto the straight, and now he gets the move done. Kieran using more battery though. And as we go into Brooklands, they're side by side. So close. There was almost contact. But Sirenhead takes the race lead here at Silverstone. Great stuff from him, to say the absolute least. But he's 3/10 now the gap. Oh, and Sirenhead nearly went sideways. This is big moments in this race. Look at how much battery Kieran has though. Sirenhead only has 8%. He's got a regen through this whole part of the S's now. As we go on to Hanger Straight, he might have more, no he won't. But he'll use overtake. The thing is with Kieran, he doesn't use the overtake. He uses medium. He uses overtake only when he needs to. But that's the difference. Battle now, as we go around the S's. Both Williams did really well in qualifying. They're both currently last as it stands. This is the closest battle on track. A battle between the Williams and a Ferrari. This will be good for the constructors. Racing 22, they made contact again. And there's a big off for Spy 200. And he finds himself in the gravel. Kevin Bicknell, his teammate, won't be able to catch up. But, nevertheless, the leaders are battling once again. Here at Silverstone, no one's taking a rest. Here on the track that first hosted a Formula 1 Grand Prix back in 1950, it's hosting ARL Grand Prix here in 2025. Lap 11 out of 13. 3 laps from here to go now. But big moments into the end of the race. I'm very certain that Racing 22 and that Spy 200 gaming collision will be under investigation by the FIA. Siren Head all over the back now. Question is though, what can he do? I'll be very interested to see what he can actually do. But we'll just have to see. Lap 11 out of 13. This will be big. Lap 11 of 13. The gap is 7/10. This is the closest battle on track. But remember, second place Siren Head still has that 3-second penalty. It'll keep him second place as it stands. Panda has actually gained a second, but maybe because these two have been battling so hard here. Good racing as we come to the chicane. Not close enough. Siren Head. But yeah, great racing between these two. There is other talks. I'll have to talk about how Williams have fallen off. Williams had a great qualifying. They were 4th and 5th. But that didn't go too well for them because now they're 4th and 6th. Constructors' Championship, I think it's going to go really well for Ferrari. Currently first, which is 25 points. Putting on pole position though, Mercedes, that's a 5 points. 3 points though for the fastest lap, and we'll see who that belongs to after this race. Oh, it'll be big. It'll be big, to say the least. Siren Head, 5/10 off. Lap 12 out of 13. Unless Kieran makes a mistake, he's not winning this race, and I think he knows it. Oh, and they're both wiggling. This dry line has been on for quite a while, but they're still both finding a way to wiggle themselves around this track. And Racing 22 and Spy, I believe, have swapped positions. Or Spy's just gained up to him. I have no clue, but these two are battling once again. I'd love to see they are battling. We'll keep an eye on the leaders for you on our other camera. As it currently stands though, Siren Head is not going to get a move done. He's lost a lot on the S's. The gap is 1.1. But look at this. Spy might go for a move down the inside on Cobbs. He decides to back off for now. And a bit wide there. Not good for him. Lap 12 out of 13 through the S's. I still want to know what's happened to Racing 22's teammate, Kevin Bicknell. He's fallen off absolutely massively. Oh, and there was a bit of a slide there from Spy. And the gap goes to 1 point. Oh, it's come down. But that's because Spy is using his ERS deploy. Racing 22's harvesting, and I think it's a great decision. He's got 100% battery. He can use medium, in my opinion, but none is a very daring move. And if I was him, I'd use medium all day. But the thing is, Spy doesn't know that, and Spy will go for none, and then go for overtake. He's using overtake at every possibility. If he's using none, and Racing's using none, use none, and capitalise on him with an overtake maybe at 40-50% battery. But as we come into the last lap, this gap, as he goes wide there, did Spy, then I don't think this position will change. But considering Spy may have been hit off by Racing, did Racing give Spy back the position? I don't know. Spy goes off again. This dirty air really does affect you here. The gap out front's gone to 2 seconds, so Siren Head's definitely well and truly lost it. But this gap goes back to 1 second. It's back to the leaders. Kieran, who barely, I will tell you, came second in qualifying, missed out on those 5 points because it was a gap of 0.014. About 30 minutes after the results of qualifying, his luck will change. He comes around the final corner. Kieran wins round 1 and the first race here in ARL. Siren Head will come second place after his penalty is applied. Panda, who started last, will finish third. What a result for him. And then it's back to the battle between Racing 22 and Spy. But the gap between Kevin Bicknell and Spy has come down, but it's not come down enough. Yeah, Spy's too far away. Spy's too far away. He made too much mistakes in the dirty air of racing, and it's too much Racing 22 comes across the line. He comes fourth. Spy comes home in P5. And Kevin Bicknell, round the final corner, he finishes in P6. So that does it for round one. And driver of the day goes to Panda. What a race from him, to say the absolute least. That was incredible. Started last, finished third, and this podium for him is well and truly deserved, to say the least. As the drivers, they'll come out to celebrate. What a result for Ferrari, but they lost that position to Williams. Williams gained consistent result by having both their drivers finished. Red Bull, they didn't get a finisher. Same with Sauber, they didn't get one finisher, even though the Rad Amis finished on the podium. It's still only 15 points for them. So let's go through all the results. Kieran wins then over Siren Head here in round one. Then Panda, who started 8th, goes up to P3. Race 22 started 5th. He'll go up to P4. Then Spy is up to P5. Kevin Bicknell goes to P6. Dummy finishes P7 after DNFing, after it wasn't worth it anymore. And I Love Passaggini started 3rd and DNF'd out of the race. He finished 8th, but for Dummy and I Love Passaggini, it's no points whatsoever. But we'll say goodbye from Britain. We'll see you in a couple of minutes as we head to Austria for the first sprint race of the season. 40% of normal points will be up for grabs after the race. It's the end, you know. Welcome back. We are here for the first sprint of the season, and it only gives out 40% points. I'll just make that known. But it's a randomised grid, so I'll have to see when we load in what it's actually going to look like. Because I'm very certain it's going to be a very entertaining one, to say the absolute least. Welcome to Austria. 5 laps race. No qualifying. Random grid. 40% of F1 normal points. This one is set to be a thriller. Welcome to round 2 of the ARL Championship. Welcome to Austria, and welcome to the Red Bull Ring, the only Styrian Grand Prix, which was actually hosted back here in 2020. But here we go. It's time for some drivers to go again. All 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Spy. Kevin Bicknell not so much. Already 3 wide as we go into turn 1. And maybe back off. Oh, there's contact between the Saubers. The 2 Saubers. A make collision. And Kevin Bicknell finds himself around after turn 1. What a horrendous start to this sprint race. Oh, and he was struggling. He was telling me after the first race that there was a collision between him and his teammate that didn't help him whatsoever. He got wing damage, and once again, I don't know whether he's got wing damage again. He's just so unlucky. I think he does. The 2 Saubers caused that. There's not even 2 Saubers, but the Sauber of Panda definitely caused that, and I think there's going to have to be reprimands for that. We've got all of that on video, and unfortunately it's ended someone's sprint race early, but there's only 40% points going out for this, so it's not that much of a loss. The Mercedes of Siren Head, though, Oh, has he got a lot of curb there? As now we're on lap 2 out of 5 already, and this race will be over in an absolute jiffy. Oh, and wide once again. Siren Head is missing all these corners now, and you can't do that. But look at this. The Sauber as we come up into turn 3. Down the inside. No, he won't go for it. He won't go for it. They were close. They were very close, but it wasn't close enough, to say the absolute least. As now we find ourselves on our run up to what is only turn 4 on the track, and the Sauber controversially almost takes the lead. There's almost contact. The Sauber finds a way through. The Ferrari nearly pushes him off the track. What racing between these two out front. They're still side by side. There's almost contact. The Ferrari goes off. The Ferrari of Spy went off, and his teammate of Kieran overtakes him. But Kieran, I don't know how he'll feel, because look at this. Siren's right on the back of him as we go now through the penultimate corners. Oh, they're close, they're close. Contact made between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. This is too close, this is too close. Come across the line, and Siren Head takes the position. Oh, if they take each other out, Kevin Bignell might find a way out. Oh, and contact again between Siren Head and Spy. They're forcing each other off the track. This is great stuff as we go up into turn 3. Oh, the contact. They're racing ahead really hard. Everywhere you look, there's chaos here. There's chaos, and this is what you get in a 5-lap race. They're almost going for a move ahead. Kieran coming across to cover up the Sauber and does get the move done. But the Sauber's coming right back at him. Down the inside, now becomes the outside. Contact again made. Everyone's making contact in this whole race. And if they're all making contact and they're all fighting, does Kevin Bicknell with the clean air somehow come back in this one? We'll have to find out. The Panda of X the Rad Amiz is all over the back of Kieran. The gap is 1/10 as we go round the penultimate, then into the final corner, because for some reason Austria, that counts as 2. Don't get me started at turn 2, the lower kink into turn 3. But as we go into turn 1, the Sauber doesn't break later, but he will get he spun. Kieran nearly lost it, and he did lose it, and he loses second place, and Panda does get DRS, so Kieran falls off massively, but he uses a lot of ERS to get himself to stay in that position. Everyone's close to each other, except from Spy to Siren and Kevin to Spy. What a race. Lap 4 out of 5. It is absolute carnage, to say the least. We've only got one more race after this, but I'm very certain it's going to be an enjoyable one, to say the least. Kieran on the back of Panda. Siren on the back of Kieran. And we're on the helicopter cam now. Siren 7/10 off Kieran. Kieran 7/10 off the Radamies out front. Kevin Bicknell has come back. Spy lost loads of time. You got to ask to Spy where he's lost a lot of time and how he's lost it. Because look how much Kevin Bicknell's gained. He's gained about 2 seconds in the last few moments. Maybe Spy dipped a wheel in the gravel or not. We'll have to find out. But Kieran, after making a mistake at turn 1, gets through turn 1 this time. And he gets the DRS open. As we come into turn 3, he might just get the lead. Who breaks later? Oh, the Sauber nearly made contact with a Ferrari. But it's still side by side as we go through DRS. And only one will get it. And it'll only be the Ferrari of Kieran who gets the move done before we even get to the corner. Yeah, good racing though between all of them. Good stuff. The Sauber already on the back of the Ferrari. The Mercedes behind the Sauber. The gap's 1/10 ahead. Panda, as they like to call him, currently in P2. Could that become P1? There's going to be one last corner to do it. This is the last lap. Here we go. Last corner. No, he's not. It's going to be close, maybe. DRS. No, it's not. The gap of 2/10. Kieran wins from Panda, Siren Head. And then it'll be Spy and then Kevin. But there's a lot of stuff we haven't talked about so far. And that has been in regards to what the FIA have said already. And while they go to the podium and celebrate their sprint win, let's tell you what the FIA have currently decided so far tonight. So this was for Silverstone. Panda received a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, although he did retire from the race. No, he didn't. He finished third. So we'll see what that does to results later on tonight when they do get revealed. And Lawrence, who did come second, received a 10-second penalty for dangerous driving and brake testing during the lineup procedure during the formation lap. That will definitely affect the race, and he might fall off the podium at Silverstone. But currently, in Austria, the Turn 1 incident is under investigation. Once we get news of that, because I can tell you it definitely involves a Sauber, who currently is P2, we'll have to find out. But this will be an interesting one to see. Here are the results. Kieran finishes P1, and then Panda, who's under investigation, finished P2. Siren Head finished P3, Spy 4, and Kevin Bicknell started second, but was caught up in that Turn 1 collision, and still gets some points for it, but it's a P5 and not the best result for him. We'll take a quick break, and then we've got one more race this evening, and it starts off with qualifying for the Imola Grand Prix after this short break. It's the you can see, it's already started, but no one is out. But we're going to get one car out, and it's going to be... Is that Racing or Kevin? Yeah, it's Kevin. Kevin's first out for the Williams. And, well, there is an FIA decision on that lap 1 incident in Austria. And I'll read it out, but Joshi Jam, who was the FIA, who made the decision, basically said he'll rethink it. So, okay, well, hold on, there's been a penalty review. So, the FIA have decided to give the following penalty for turn 1. Kevin 5 seconds and Siren 5 seconds. They appealed it, and Kevin has had his penalty removed. So, penalty has been removed, so it is only, I believe, who was it again? I forgot to see whoever got the penalty. Siren Head, who's also known by the name of Lawrence. He, in the Mercedes, might not be happy with that. Kevin Bignall with the first one to set a lap time, and with the first one to prove his worth round Imola. It's a track he said to me that he absolutely loves. So we'll see what he can do here as he crosses the line to start his first lap here in qualifying. 15 minutes on the clock. It's an 18-minute session. It says Q1, but no one gets knocked out. It's just Q. So then, through sector 1, and we'll see who's up here. The Mercedes of Siren Head is behind him as well. Currently, though, he got a penalty for the turn 1 incident. 24.3 through sector 1. Let's see what Siren Head does do. Oh, he's gone off. Siren Head goes off into sector 1, and that was not going to be a good sector 1 whatsoever. As soon as you go straight off, and that is not the best, to say the absolute least. We'll have to see then. Kieran currently coming through sector 1. Ice Cube is back off. They're all nearly losing it through there. It's a 24.5 for Kieran through there. Kevin Bicknell 50.5 as they come through sector 2. Now coming up to sector 3. Through the chicane, a bit of DRS activation. Well, not DRS activation. The DRS, what should we say? Just to see whether you're in range or not, but that will only be in the race. DRS wing open, it's a 1:16.048. Siren Head was behind him, but he's not setting a competitive lap time, so we'll go on board with Kieran instead, as we go over the top of the hill, now into the final corner. And Siren Head, 123.7, that doesn't really matter, and Kieran almost lost it through the final corner. As he comes down the straight, he still might be quickest. It is, it's a 15.8. And even though he almost lost it at every single corner, he's still on pole as it currently stands. Spies on an outlap. Kevin Bicknell's going again. Yeah, and currently 3/10 down through sector 1. We'll see what it's like through sector 2. But as it stands right now, it's not been the best of nights for this man. But, and he's, oh, I think, did he abort the lap? No? No, he has aborted the lap. He has aborted the lap. So he aborts the lap. Kieran still 9/10 down, so he must have done absolute heroics going through sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 3, and that's where Kevin Bicknell is. It's just him going really slowly. It doesn't help if you use the ERS assist. It's thinking he's on a hot lap. Kieran now coming through the chicane. And he is on a fast lap, but Siren Head is right behind Kevin, and oh, maybe it was a bit close, but Siren Head does go quickest. It's a 15.3 from him. Kevin Bicknell is not going for a lap. This lap, I think he's on another cool down. I think he's going on 2 cool downs, then his lap. Kieran's pitted. Spies on the lap. It's a 50.5 through sector 2, which is roughly around the time Kevin Bicknell set. Kevin Bicknell's currently got a 16.0, 7/10 off Siren Head, who's on pole. Kieran made all the mistakes. He's only 5/10 off. Kieran looking good a little bit here. We'll have to see. That's the Sauber starting his lap. A little bit of a drift through the final corner, coming up to the line, overtake at the button, and goes up into P2. Good lap. It's a 15.8, but Kieran, although he did have a few moments, I think he can improve. Kevin Bicknell, I think he's got improvements in him as well. And look how much battery he's got. He's got 92%. If he could just get a little bit more, I think he's sorted. But he's using overtake, which I think he's using the ERS assist, but that is not. When you use the ERS assist on a cooldown lap, Siren Head goes into the pit lane, and once again he goes into the provisional pole spot in their qualifying, just like he did at Silverstone earlier on in the night. Spy 200 coming around the corner now. As we go into Acre Minerale, we'll see what it's like. He's not improving. I think, yeah, no, he's not improving. He's doing a cooldown lap. There, he's spying. He still managed to cut the chicane. So you see Siren Head in the pit lane. And Panda, also known as the Radamise, finds an absolute thriller of a lap. 14.6. What a lap. What a lap. What a lap. What a lap. What a lap for Panda. I don't think he'll go again because he's got recharged tomorrow. Kevin Bicknell's going again. He's 7/10 off. Kieran's on an out lap. Panda, yeah, he's not trying. So everyone is either on an out lap or in the pits of those three, except from the Radamise and Kevin Bicknell. And Kevin Bicknell coming around sector 2 now, going up the really large elevation change, going now into the sector 2 timing point. It's a 51.5 and he's 9/10 off his best time there. I think the tyres have gone personally. He needs to switch the tyres around. There is a yellow flag for Panda, but he's going too slow. So that's just what he needs. Kevin Bicknell around the final corner. I'd say Box put fresh shet on. Box and put a fresh shet on. Does he? Yes, he does. Maybe he's listening to me. Maybe he is listening to me as he goes into the pit lane. It's fine for him. 10 minutes to go. Kieran's on an out lap. We'll watch this lap in full. Here we go. So he has boxed. And I believe he has changed the tyres. It looks like he has. Those tyres have a little shiny layer on them. Through sector 1, and look how good he is through sector 1. Around the first few corners. Now, once again, yeah, he's perfect through there. He's absolutely lovely. 4/10 quicker. And we knew he was going to improve because he had so much mistakes. But now he's seen that time from the Sauber. He knows this is where he has to improve. Spy's on an out lap. There's a yellow flag for Spy. And the yellow flag for the Radamise, but he's going too slow, so that's alright. Oh no, Kieran spun it! Kieran spun! And that is not what you want, especially on a lap like that. That was perfect up until that point. From the Ferrari, and he's lost it. Yeah. That's how it can all change in qualifying. You light up the rears too much, going over that elevation change, and that unfortunately happens. And it happened, and he lost too much. Yeah, and as a result, he finds himself going into the pit lane to change those tyres. He's got 8 minutes and a half to set another lap. Panda, I believe, was on another cooldown lap. No, he boxes, that was an in lap. Spy is the only guy out on track as it currently stands, and he's on an out lap. So, while everyone else is in the pit lane, let's watch this lap in full. Let's go through a full lap here. So you want to get the DRS open. If you can use a bit of overtake before the line, then stop using overtake before the line. That's good, because what he does, if you're on the hot lap mode, it does take the battery down a lot. But if you use the overtake before the line, then you don't use the amount of VOS you can use in one lap. Hot lap, stay on for the rest of the lap until you get to a really big straight, which I would say is probably an exit a few corners here. You probably have a lot of battery, probably about 20% to play with at the end of this lap, so you can use a lot of overtake because it loves to regen, does this overtake mode. Through sector 2 now, into this corner, just get a little bit wide, but not too wide. So in fact, you want to use a bit of that curb through here, brake a little bit late, get on the power. That was perfect on the power there from Spy 200. Coming through the sector 2 time, he's 1/10 quicker, and it's the fastest sector 2 so far for him. Interesting through the chicane, loves to cut that a little bit more, gets on the orange curb, but if there was simulation damage, he might have floor damage. He's got to be a little bit careful of that. Now, we go around, oh, we lit up the rears a little bit there, lit up the rears again. He's used so much tyres so far this lap, used the overtake all the way to the line, and he's set to 1:15.6, 1/10 quicker, and will go to third, if he wasn't already. And now we're seeing some more drivers come onto the track, which involved Kevin Bicknell and Kieran, also in the Ferrari. Racing 22, who was Kevin Bicknell's teammate, has left the session, so it's not looking good for Williams, but this is great points for Ferrari as it currently stands. Yeah, great points, to say the least. There's the yellow flag in sector 2 and it's the Ferraris. Spy 200 let through, although would you like to let Spy 100 through? Is he on the lap? No, he's not on the lap, he's using no ERS. But you do what you do. Oh, and he almost lost it there, even though he wasn't on the lap. There is one guy on the lap though, and it's Kevin Bicknell. Let's go on ball with him as he uses the ERS all the way down on the run down into turn 1. Brake a little bit, get as much as you throttle as you can on the exit. Don't light up the rears too much, although you can afford to do that, but if you light up the rears early up in the lap, through that final 2-3 corners, it will hurt your rear tyres so much, and he's 4/10 down into sector 1. 4/10 down into sector 1. Can Kevin Bicknell do something big here? I want to make notice though something on the straight. Spy 200 is giving Kieran an absolute lovely tow, and he gets out of the way completely, but it might have hindered Kieran a little bit. That will be good for the Ferraris. On board with Kevin once again. He's last time we checked he was 4/10 off. Now as he crosses the line, he's only 1/10 off. He's gained 3/10 through sector 2. Now through sector 3. This is going to be a good bit here. He's 2/10 off Kieran, although Kieran does have a lot more pace in him. We've seen him spin, but he was setting the perfect lap before, so there's a lot to make. The Sauber, who's currently on provisional pole, has gone out as well. Kevin Bicknell, gotta get the DRS open, does get the DRS open, cross the line, goes up into P4 with a 15.7, and now it's time to do a cool down lap. Yeah, he needs to do a cool down lap to regenerate the battery, and because he's on ERS assist, then that's what he needs to do, but he's gone off there, sector 2, so cool down lap for the whole of this next lap, so you get all the battery, just go full half full for the rest of the lap, because that's what regens the battery if you're on ERS assist. Kieran coming across the line, he looked good, it's only a 14.9, he wanted a bit more from that. And as it currently stands, he's only in second. Yeah, he might have fueled it up though to go for 2. Pandas still improving on what they thought was the perfect lap. Fastest once again through sector 1, now through sector 2. Use that curb, and he did use that curb to good amount. Now as we go up the elevation change, we'll see what it's like. Very nice, very good, very nice. Now as we go into the chicane, he's still 2/10 off. This is great. From the Sauber, off X, the Radomies. There's a yellow flag, it's the Kieran is slow. He's probably going to try and get one more in. The Sauber though is improving absolutely massively. As we go now round the final corner, what can he do here? There's a yellow flag through sector 2, crosses the line, the perfect lap, gets even perfecto, he's 2/10 quicker, it's a 14.33, it's a 14.388, that's lovely, and Kieran will start his lap next. Yeah, that will be, I don't know, Panda, I think he's done enough for provisional pole there. Kieran though, maybe the other one can stop him. To tell you, there are cars going onto the track. The Mercedes and the Ferrari are going out. If the Williams does want to go out, he needs to go very quickly, because there's only a few minutes left, and he needs to get around this track quite quickly. Kieran on his preparation. Here we go. This is the lap that needs to be. It needs to be the lap of the weekend. Here at Imola, we crossed the line at start lap. Yeah, using overtake early on. It's the biggest back straight, so actually, why not use overtake? That's a good decision, and the Williams only coming out now. 2 minutes, he should be fine. The Ferrari through sector 1 into the chicane. Using minimal, he's gone off here before, and he spun here, and Kieran's improving, but not by much. It's only by 0.087, and it needs to be a bit more if he wants to be on pole position here in Imola. Through the final corners here, sector 2. Big elevation change coming up. We'll see what he can do here. Up the hill. Crossing the line. He's quicker, but not by much. 0.06 second. 6.7. Oh, I just said it there. 6.7. Let's go. Coming down the straight. Now, as we go through the final corners of sector 3, a little bit of a lock-up. Don't allow the rears too much throughout the lap, and these corners will look good, and they do look good. Use the overtake. He's got a little bit left. Deploy already used, and he's quicker, but he's not enough. 4/10 quicker. Sector 3 gains him so much there, but it wasn't enough. Sirenhead's improving a bit as well. Spy 200 though is ahead of him on track. Kieran's slow, and he's going to have to watch out because Kevin Bicknell's coming up behind him. Oh, this will be close between the Ferrari and the Williams. Well, look at that through sector 1. He's 3/10 quicker as Kevin. This is great. This qualifying is not over just yet. There could be some surprises, to say the least, but will the Ferrari get in the way of his dirty air? It is certainly. Kieran trying to help his teammate out. Spy now coming across the line. It's quicker by 2/10. It's a 15.432. Kevin Bicknell though, he's still 3/10 quicker and has got past the Ferrari. Yeah, I'd love to see though what it's like through sector 2. Maybe the Ferrari put him off. Yes, he did. He's still he's 0.003 down, and it's invalidated. That lap won't count, and Kevin Bicknell will start last for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. As it currently stands, this man's on pole, and he's stopped now. He's stopped. Kieran's definitely not going to do it. Sirenhead's not going to do it. They're all not going to do it, except from maybe this man. No, he's not. No, he's not. So we know who's going to be on pole position for this one. It's going to be this Sauber of X, the Radamies. Yeah, and he stops on track. Got to be careful, you don't want penalties for that, but I don't think some drivers will be happy with that. Do I think they timed their runs well? No. Because you want the point where the track is best. Kevin Bicknell, out of all of them, put his lap time the least, putting it best, but he invalidated at the chicane, and therefore it ruined his qualifying for him, and that has done it. So it's this man who's on pole position, the Sauber of X the Rad Amies, starting on pole position. They thought it was a perfect lap. Kieran got close, but not close enough. Not close enough. Just yet, as they wheel the Sauber back into the garage. And we'll just wait for the remaining cars put in the garage. Spy's the last one, but that should be it. And there we go. Let's have a look at the results. So it's Panda who's fastest with the Kick Sauber by 0.047. Then Sirenhead in third. Then Spy in fourth. And Kevin Bicknell. You've got to ask what's going on with Kieran there in the Ferrari. Well, we might find out in the near future. But never mind. We'll keep our eye on the FIA report. But coming off after the break, it's race time. It's race 3 of 3 in Imola. We'll see you after this very short break.
It's the end, you know.
not the start of the race just yet. It's formation lap time here in Imola, and Panda will let us all go for the start. Let's tell you some stuff from the FIA. Racing 22, who's currently not in the lobby, will receive a 5-second, I think it was 5 seconds, let me just recheck that. Yes, it was a 5-second penalty for causing a collision, and that was with Spy. So, if you are in the ARL server, those will be revealed to, the standings will be revealed later on. Possible race strategies there. You can go on the softs and pit for the mediums. It looks like everyone's on the softs. You can pit for the mediums lap 7. Around about that halfway through this race, there is actually not 13 laps. I believe it's 16 or 18. One of those two. But nevertheless, we've got a around about 20-minute race here. And FT weather tells us it's going to be dry throughout. So that should be fine for us this evening. Drivers coming into sector 3 now. And starting grid once again. The Sauber of the X-Radamies. The Radamies, sorry, not the X-Radamies. Kieran W17. Siren Head 8345 in third. For fourth for Ferrari. Spy 200 Gaming. And in P5 for Kevin Bicknell. For the Williams, the only Williams on the grid. That could all change though. Here. And we'll have to find out. Here we go. There are 2 cars disqualified. Siren Head and X-Radamies. They did not line up correctly. Here we go. 4, 5. It's lights out and away we go here at Imola. It's a great start from Kieran, who's found himself away into turn 1. Kieran leads. Oh, this will be chaos. This will be chaos. Almost contact. This is great racing from everyone. They've kept it tight and neat on the start. And now we've got a right race on our hands. Yeah, it's 16 laps of racing. You can pit for the mediums, lap 7. It's not halfway. Oh, there's a spin. Panda has spun, the pole sitter's gone. And he said, see you later. And he's spun at turn 1. And that might as well be his race over. Unless he was able to go into the pit lane and pit now. It's not going to rain, I'll tell you that. For free. But nevertheless, Kevin Bicknell's all over the back of the Mercedes here. Yeah, and these first laps in these races have always been chaos. Kevin Bicknell just going off the track there, he might get a warning there. You get 3 of those and then you get a penalty. And obviously you don't want that, but he's falling off now and he needs to catch up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. The Mercedes on the back there of Spy, and it's a Ferrari 1-2, and if they were to do it in Italy, that would be a story to tell, to say the least. And the Spy goes off. Spy gets gravel on his tyres, and that will not help him coming onto the straight. Yeah, there won't be DRS. There won't be DRS because it's too late to have the DRS. Because the DRS is because before the start-finish line, and Panda's pitting, and I knew he would, trying to stop him on strategy. Kevin Bicknell can just watch this battle from behind, but just be aware that if these two mess up, he can pounce right in. Not for the kill, but whatever that is in race. In terms of them almost made contact, they made contact, and they made contact with Kevin from wing once again, and that's been a common thing. Alright, Kevin from wing taking a brunt of the damage from other people, and that's a big off for Spy. I'd like to see that fall for that, and the Mercedes is going really slow and braking way early. That's put everyone off as we go over the big elevation change. But this is the big battle. Forget about the battle for the lead. Kieran leads that by miles. Siren Head in P2. Then it's this battle for P3, and it might be for P2. It might be that Spy gets it there, but he won't. Just a reminder of the strategy, you can go for 2 stop for the mediums on lap 5 and the hards on lap 11, but it's probably going to be that 1 stop. That's the best. Unless there's a safety car, that's what they're going to pit to. We'll talk about how long it takes in the pit after this battle does calm down. But look at this, Kevin Bicknell might find a way to gain a little bit. as we go into turn 1, but they made contact, Spy, and Spy is off the racetrack, and so is the Mercedes. This is big stuff here in the championship, and Kevin Bicknell, who's had the rub of the green, all night, finds himself in P2. This is great for him. This is great, and there's Siren Head stopped. Siren Head has retired from the session. Siren Head spun. They won't safety car it because it's a retirement. So they'll keep going. There's only 4 cars in the race, and that includes the Sauber, who's fallen way off. So there's really only 3 cars that can win it. But as it currently stands, Kevin Bicknell is going to finish P2. This is going to be great for Williams. For what was going to be a Ferrari 1-2 here at Italy, might be overshadowed by that incident. Talking about pit time, you can gain a bit more on the pit. 30 seconds it takes in the pit lane. Time spent in the pit lane. Kevin Bicknell is only... Oh, what's happened to Kieran? What's happened to Kieran? Kieran's lost a lot of time. Kevin Bicknell's gaining. This is big. Oh, this will be big. Here we go. Come on, guys. Let's go for a good battle. This is the last race of night 1, and I'd love to see it here. As we go through Sector 1, who's better here? We'll have to find out, but Kevin Bicknell will get affected by the dirty air, and he'll also get affected by the result DRS, the slipstream. There's 2 ways going in his favour. The dirty air is just one of them. Spy's long off this battle, so it's really just these 2. I wonder what's happened to Kieran. In my opinion, I don't know, he might have slowed down to make this race more exciting. He may have made a mistake. Anything could have happened. This is ARL, and what a night we have had to start us off. The gap's already nearly gone to a second though, as we go through the chicane, and it's gone down a bit. It's gone down a bit. We're on lap 4 out of 16, but it's not gone down a lot, and I love to see the telemetry of what everyone's got. Yeah, the thing is, Kevin's using his ERS assist, and if he turned the ERS assist off tonight, it would have been a whole different race. But yeah, you can tell he's got the ERS assist on because he's on 78%. He's so close to the car, he'd be using overtake, obviously. But that is not the case, and yeah. Well, the thing is, Kevin's gaining him into turn 1 and turn 2, just in that first sector overall. But it's really the back end of sector 1 that he's losing it, and then to sector 2, he loses it a little bit more. But anything can happen. It's ARL. What an inaugural night of racing here. We've seen collisions, we've seen chaos. This has been phenomenal from the start. Kieran looking up again, and Kieran's off. Kieran's off. Oh, Kieran's off. We've got a new race leader. It's Kevin Bicknell. Kevin Bicknell leads the Grand Prix. Unbelievable stuff here in Imola. I'm jumping with joy for the man. A man who's not had the rub of the green all night leads the Imola Grand Prix. Oh, this is great, but Kieran's going to catch up now. But Kevin, with his ERS assist, he can find a way to turn it off. That would help him so much. But if he did, he'd have to go into the pause menu, and his 0% AI would take over, and that would lose him so much time. And Kieran using overtake as we go around the final corner. 2.7, and Kieran has fallen out of DRS. We'll see pit stops either this lap or next lap. You can go for this lap if you want to go for the undercut, or next lap if you want to box with everyone else. Oh, and he's nearly lost it again, Kieran. Nearly loses it again. You know what? I think we're on for a new race winner here. This would be something. This would be absolutely amazing. You can either box though this lap for it. There's a yellow flag, and Panda spun. Those tyres will be really hot now. But he's on a straight, so he should be fine for now. But I say you either box this lap, go for the undercut, get a 1 lap extra on those fresher tyres, or you stay out, which probably Kieran will do. I'd say go for the undercut. This will be big. Kevin Bicknell went in the grass a little bit of time. I think it's time to... Oh, Kevin Bicknell's on the mediums. Then don't box if he's on the mediums. Wow. I didn't know he'd start this race on the mediums. Oh, and Kieran's gone into the pit. Kieran's gone into the pit. He's going for the undercut. Now this is something the Williams needs to be wary of, and it's a switch onto the medium tyres, which probably was the better strategy, in my opinion. Starting on softs, going onto the mediums. I don't know, but I think it was smarter to stay out, and Spy lost it. Oh, he was very close to losing the back end. But yeah, I don't know. I think he should have gone on to the mediums, the softs. Sorry, should have started on the softs, gone on to the mediums. I'm not sure. For him, I don't want to lose this race. I don't want him to lose this race. For him, because he's had such a tough night, and if he was to get one win, that would mean absolutely everything. There's a yellow flag, and now Sauber's off again, and he's out of the session. He's retired, so there won't be a safety car. We started with 5, we're down to 3. And it's a stare down between 2 Ferraris and a Williams. I think I'd love to know when the Williams is going to box. I never knew that I'd start on the mediums. But look, we'll see what happens. Reminder, you do have to box. It is a 25% race. And the question is, though, what tyre will he change onto? It's obviously going to be the soft. If he goes onto the hard, then that's a question for another day. Does he wait till lap 10? Because if he waits till lap 10, he gets the same amount of soft tyres that Kieran had, but look how much Kieran's gained. The gap's 27 seconds, I'm sorry to say it, but it's not looking hopeful. Yeah, it was obviously, I think, in my decision, the right decision to go onto the soft tyres, and obviously that decision wasn't made, and therefore, that decision might have cost him this race. Lap 8 out of 16, we'll cross halfway distance when we cross the line next lap. Question is, oh, I think Kevin's going to box. Yeah, Kevin's going to box this lap, because he's got that illuminated light on his dashboard. I've only just seen that. So he's boxing this lap. Will he go onto the hards? Because if he goes onto the hards... No, he's not boxing. He's not boxing. He's staying out. Is he going against the team's will? 26 seconds is the gap. He can only hope for a safety car and for someone to have a crash. But the big statistic here is the time here in Imola spent into the pit lane is a whopping 30 seconds. And that would be 5 seconds off the race lead, because Spy still got a pit. Kieran's pitted already and he's gaining every single lap. But that's a lot of time that Kevin Bicknell somehow needs to gain on such old tyres as well. Kieran's on the mediums now, on the same tyres as Kevin, but I don't know. I don't know. It depends if Kieran makes a mistake. It's really a question of when does Kevin pit. Or as he goes a little bit wide at the chicane. This race is slipping between his fingers as we speak. And Kieran currently approaching his teammate. I think for Spy, it's do whatever Kevin does. Not do whatever he doesn't do when he's gone wide. Kevin goes wide and he stays out. Wow. If he's staying out, he needs to box his lap for softs. Simple as that. But he'd lose the race lead. Spy doesn't box either, and Spy went wide as well. We know Kieran's vulnerable to making mistakes. The question is, though, is he up to making another one? He won't, because he's on a pursuit. But I think he has it left in him. He made a mistake in quali. He's made a mistake in the race. We knew he was going to lose it. The back end was gone. But nevertheless, he's still in it here. Reminder, we are back here next week live, and you can only watch it on FT Sport. Night 2 of ARL action as we take a visit to 3 more race circuits. Once again, our coverage is on air from 7 There's 6 laps left. Kevin knows he's gonna have to box. When does he box? Will he turn in? Yes, he will. It's time to box. Here we go. Yeah, we're looking at the track map. You know Kieran's gonna definitely come up to this. I want to know what Spy's gonna do. Spy's probably gonna do whatever he does do. Or do whatever he doesn't do. He's gonna be a do whatever he does do. No, he stays out. Yeah, but he's on those mediums, and they've been on those mediums for a long time. So Kieran will take the race lead, and we knew he was because Kevin definitely paid way too late, and he had the wrong strategy from the start. Not his best decision, but nevertheless it'll be a podium. It'll be a podium for that man. Kieran 2.8. Oh, Spy's gone off and nearly rejoins in the bath of Kieran, and Kieran's got a bit of grass on his tyres. Yeah, but with Spy making that mistake, the Williams is so much closer. I do think, definitely, yeah, Spy's still got another stop to do. They're all on medium tyres now currently, but Kieran's got the fresher ones. Oh, and Kieran nearly lost it. Kieran's so close, and if he did, that may have been race over. Kevin is only 2.2 seconds off the back of Spy, but we know Spy should pit this lap. I think we're slating Kevin's strategy a bit too much. This is definitely the worst strategy from Spy. Pitted too late. Started on the mediums. I think it's obvious. You start on the softs, you go to the mediums. You only start on the mediums when you think there's a risk of rain and it comes in the end stage of the race, or you stay on the mediums for a limited amount of time and go on to the softs for a big end. But obviously that's not happened. It's now chased down between Kevin Bicknell and Kieran for this race lead and this race win, and this would mean so much to the Williams. This would mean so much to the Ferrari. Yeah, but we're all watching Kieran now. We're looking at the gap, but we know Kieran's the more vulnerable to make mistakes. It's not gone Kevin's way this evening. He'll love to get a win, but with this result, either way, it will catapult him up the leaderboard. But if he's not going to go for it, he might as well go for fastest lap, because fastest lap does something. Fastest lap does do something indeed. It gives you 3 points, Paul's 5 points, and it's the normal F1 points for the normal races, and it's 40% of those for the sprint. We've already had that this evening. Kevin Bicknell's gained a bit, but will he run out of laps? That's the question. Has he found a way to turn off that ERS assist? Because it might have. We have to find out. I don't know. It's hard to say. But look how much he's gaining. He's also on those soft tyres. Kieran's on those medium tyres, and those medium tyres are not the best performers. So we'll have to find out what it's like. Kieran through the corners now. This is one of the corners he's more vulnerable to make a mistake at. Likes to get on the grass and lose it. Well, we've not seen his worst corner yet. There's still one corner to go before we reach that, and it will be at Minerale. Through there. Very nice. Kevin Bicknell 4.1 off. He's going to run out of laps if Kieran doesn't make a mistake, but if he stays with him, maybe not. The pressure will be on. Kieran's probably saying, pressure, what pressure? We'll find out what it's like. We're on lap 13 out of 16, there's smoke in the air. Oh, this is going to be a great end. The time has gone down to 3.8. This is going to be a fantastic end to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Chasing him down, it's like the Belgian Grand Prix in real life. But there wasn't enough laps for Lando Norris to do it, and Lando Norris made a mistake. Well, Kevin Bicknell make a mistake. Well, we were out of laps. This is going to be a great end. Coming across the line, lap 14 of 16. Begin. 3 to go. And he's losing time, but the thing is, Kieran's using his ERS really well. He's using overtake down the straight. Oh, and Kieran's gone off. Oh, and Kieran's retired. Kieran's retired from the session. Oh, unbelievable stuff. I don't know what happened. Did he hit a wall? No, he retired. I don't know what happened there. No, Kieran got terminal damage. Kieran got terminal damage. So that means we're gonna have a first race win for this man in the Williams if he keeps it tiny through the next 3 laps. But it's almost but confirmed. This is going to be an epic finish, I said. We didn't even need to wait for the finish. Kieran needed to keep it tight and neat, but he didn't. He didn't. And as a result, he's going to get 0 points from this race. Even though he's completed... Well, I don't know. Maybe if you complete 75% you get points, but we'll have to see. What an end to a thrilling Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix earlier in the night. We'll take you back to Kevin's journey. Earlier on in Silverstone, he was taken out and lost his front wheel under the safety car by one and only Racing 22, the American kid, the one and only his own teammate. He got taken out by him, and unbelievably so, he got damaged as a result, and he was done for the rest of the race. We didn't know why that happened. We do know now. The yellow flag through sector 3. Spy stopped, but Spy must have spun. Spy's out of the equation. Forget about him. It's all about this man as he goes to a big end, to a big night, a bit of a slide, but this will help him. He finished every single race this evening. Kieran didn't finish a race. Simon didn't finish a race. The Radamies didn't finish a race. But they'll get 0 points. This man will get the full 25, and if he has the fastest lap, he'll get 28. Yes, that's right, 28 points. That'll be the best. Kieran is fuming. He has left the session. It's goodbye to him. But Kevin Bicknell rounds the final corner. It's not the job complete because he's still got 1 more lap to go. We started with 5 here in Emilia-Romagna. We finish with 2. If Spy stays in this race, if Kevin stays in this race. This is an incredible end to an incredible evening of racing. What a way to go out, folks. What a way to go out. Of course, if you're in the ARL community, you can look out later tonight. The standings will be revealed of what it looks like. And this man, Kevin Bicknell, might be near the top of it. Consistency is key, ladies and gentlemen. As George Russell once said, consistency is key. Right after that, he said, fact. This is a fact that this man well and truly deserves this race win. And as he comes through the final sector now, he can wave to the virtual crowd, because there's a gap of 38 seconds. Unbelievably so. We knew Kieran could make a mistake. We never knew he'd do it in that fashion. And he's left me for 3 laps trying to fill in with saying what this man's going to do. I don't need to fill in anymore because he's done so well to this point. Kevin Bicknell in the Williams wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. He wins his first ever race here in ARL, and I'm very certain it won't be the last. What a race from the Williams. Unbelievable stuff. Incredible job from Kevin Bicknell. And he wins, and Spy, maybe he's pushing for the fastest lap. He won't get it, I don't think, because the ERS usage was not the best from him. That is incredible. That is fairy tales made tonight, and he's spun again, so it definitely won't be the fastest lap. That is fairy tales made this evening, folks. Is he doing donuts? I wouldn't do donuts considering what's happened. Well, we'll cross the line anyway. And that was an incredible end. Oh, I thought he was going to put it in the wall there. That was an incredible end to a first here. But it's all eyes tonight. Kevin Bicknell topped the charts. Kieran maybe, and driver of the day well and truly goes to him. What a race. What a race. What a night of action. And we just have to sit here and thank you for watching. Both Ferraris finished on the podium, but Kieran won't get any points because he DNF'd. But only 2 drivers will go away with points. What a race. What a race. What a race, to say the absolute least. And he can celebrate now. Unbelievable stuff as they spray the champagne here to finish night one of ARL. Let's take you through the final results. Only 2 finishes to end this one. Kevin Bignell won the race by 57 seconds. Absolute domination. He didn't get the fastest lap though. That went to X the Radames, however he DNF, so I don't know if he get points for that. Spy 200 finished P2, and then Kieran, the Radames, and Simonhead finished below them, but none of them will be receiving points for DNF except from Panda, who could be getting points for the fastest lap. We'll have to find out. We thank you for watching here in ARL. Good evening. Good evening? No, goodbye.
It's the old
You